Hey everybody, KC here. So it was interesting. So yesterday I had in just as a little bit in fast news beat the fact that Schaefer beer is coming back, and it's funny. I don't think I've ever had a Schaefer beer. When Schaefer beer was popular in the New York metropolitan area, I was a kid. But the thing I did remember so much was the Schaefer jingle, and I actually ran an old Schaefer commercial yesterday on Morning News Beat, and Michael Sansolo calls me up and says, I can't get the damn thing out of my mind. I keeps running and running and running. And we started to reminisce about old beer commercials from when we were kids. And we reminisced about Schaefer, and he reminded me of a great Schaefer commercial that also had the jingle. And we also talked about Ballantine Ale, and we talked about Rheingold. And it was interesting, and we sort of ranked the commercials in terms of how memorable and how innovative they were, how creative they were. So, because if we have to think about these jingles, you may have to think about these jingles. So basically, below this, I'm going to run three videos. I'm going to run a different Schaefer commercial. I am going to run a Rheingold commercial, and I'm going to run the Ballantine commercial. And and it's interesting, and that's basically in the order of preference, both for me and for Michael. I think Schaefer has the best jingle. Rheingold's is pretty good. And there's really, I think the Ballantine commercial is less memorable for the jingle than it is for the great voice of Mel Allen. Because I can remember as a kid lying in bed at night listening to Yankee games. This is before the Mets even existed and after the Dodgers and the Giants had left New York. And I can remember on a summer night listening on a little transistor radio to Mel Allen and Red Barber and Phil Rizzuto doing the games. And Mel Allen would talk about the Ballantine blast when a Yankee would hit a home run. So anyway, these three commercials, what I think is really interesting about them is, boy, even all these years later, 50 years after those commercials, probably we first heard them or saw them, they still in our memories. They're implanted there. We remember them so specifically. And that's a really good branding lesson for whether you're a retailer or you're some kind of CPG product. Boy, if you can kind of come up with that image, you can come up with that message, and you can cement it in people's minds, well, sometimes the message actually outlives the brand. Anyway, enjoy the three commercials. That's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.